G'day Jacked and Nerdy fans, Jeremy here with another unboxing video in our honorary Game of Thrones series. Before we jump into that video though, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And if you do enjoy these videos, make sure you give them a thumbs up because then that lets us know that you are enjoying these videos and it encourages us to keep going. So with that out of the way, as I said, this is another unboxing video in our Game of Thrones series, and today we are unboxing the 1/6 scale Jaime Lannister based off of Series 7. Okay, this is a very, very detailed figure that I've been excited for because he's wearing his Kingsguard Lannister armor. So I'm very excited to see the level of detail that they've got on it. These figures are manufactured and distributed by the people at ThreeZero Collectables. So if you are interested in these types of figures, make sure you check out their website. I got some of these through a local distributor here in Australia called Pop Culture. Others I got through a US distributor called Sideshow Collectables. Those websites will be in the description of this video if you want to go over and check out these figures and everything else that they've got. They are both really, really good distributors with a very wide selection of all things pop culture, action figures, and the works. So let's get stuck into it though. Let's not hold out any longer. Let's see what we got. Okay. So, as always, okay, this is a little bit different. This is not the warranty card that I was expecting. This one here has a bit more of an instruction video, just on, pamphlet, I should say, not a video, just on how to get the various bits of armor and weaponry suited on him correctly, which I think is pretty cool. Because sometimes you can find it a bit difficult and not know what to do on how to get these things all set up. So that's kind of a handy little bit to have there. So let's get this cover off and let's see what we're working with. Okay. Lots of plastic here to protect the various different bits and pieces. Okay. Get him a bit more central there. So straight away, the detail on the armor is fantastic. This is what I was excited for. You've got all the different engravings here and on the different bits of leather. You got the armor plating, his little brass hand there with all the different engravings on it. His elbow guards and shoulder. You can see here the engraving of the lion's head. Okay, the detail on the 5 o'clock shadow and the face sculpt there. Obviously, while it's not a perfect representation, which, let's face it, when you're doing an action figure and you're sculpting plastic, it's absolutely impossible to get a perfect head sculpt. But I think it's pretty damn close, if you ask me. So moving down here, obviously you've got the leather gloves, but also you've got very, very well-made leather bits here. The boots, all of that. Let's turn him around so you can see the back. So again, you've got more armor plating on the back here, which I think is really, really good. It just adds to the whole figure. You know, it just shows that they're not cheaping out by leaving the back of it all plain and everything. And of course, on the bottom there, you've got the HBO insignia there, letting you know that this is an authentic and licensed figure. So, alrighty. Now, let's see if I can get him to stand up straight. There we go. Again, nice. It would be nice to have a base plate or a stand that you can put them on. But, you know, we're not in charge, so that's not our decision to make. That's just a critical thought that I have. So moving on. So as always, you get your accessories. Again, with these figures, less is more. So you've got your, obviously, Jaime Lannister's sword. Okay. I forget off the top of my head what he named his sword. I think it was Kingslayer or something to that effect. So you've got the Jaime Lannister sword there, and obviously his secondary dagger. The instruction, obviously I'm not going to try and put them on him right now because I'd have to read the instructions in a lot more detail, and let's face it, that would make for a very long video and we haven't got time for that today. So I'll be reading the instructions later on, putting the sword and the various different bits and pieces on him when I put him in the cabinet with his with the other figures that go along with it. But in the meantime, so very nice detail on the swords, and the sheaths and the belts. Lots of intricate engravings and pattern designs, which I think is fantastic. The detail is incredible on these. And then obviously you've got the red cloak that will go over his shoulder and back as well. So not a lot of accessories. Again, there's no additional... Oh no, sorry, I am mistaken. There is some additional hands you get with him just for grasping swords and things like that. So we do have just one set of extra hands, albeit they are both left-hand ones because he no longer has a right hand. So that's a nice little feature as well. So you've got 2 extra left hands, but no extra right hands for this figure. So all in all, look, I'm very happy with it. I think the biggest thing with these figures is I wanted the detail to be in the actual costuming and the outfit and the head sculpt. So once again, just like the 2 previous figures, this figure has not disappointed me in that aspect. The level of detail and craftsmanship on the outfit are fantastic. The quality of like the leather materials and everything. So I'm very, very happy with this figure, just like what I've been with the last 2. They will look fantastic in the cabinets behind me with all of their accessory figures or accessory characters. So it'll be very interesting to see that collection grow with all the different characters. Very much like the previous 2, I'm going to give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. Again, an argument could be made for 8 purely on the fact of craftsmanship. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, I would like to know your thoughts. So definitely hit me up in the comments below. If you disagree with me, I want to hear your argument. But like I said, you can't compare. I've said this before. I can't compare these figures to Hot Toys in the sense that you're not really comparing apples with apples. This is a different manufacturer, obviously, but they're doing a completely different type of figure. If Hot Toys were also doing their own Game of Thrones series, and you were comparing Game of Thrones figures to Game of Thrones figures, then you could make the argument. But I'd say because this is a standalone series, no one else is doing action figures like this based off these characters. You can't really compare them to anything else. So purely from that standpoint, I'm very happy. I give it that rating of 7.5. For the money you pay, again, I think it's reasonable. These figures roughly are around the $2 to $250 mark, depending on which distributor you get them from, what area of the world you're in. Obviously, exchange rates play a big role in that, and also shipping. But roughly, you could say these figures are between $200 and $250. Whereas Hot Toys figures are usually between the $300 to $400, depending on what you're getting. So for the price you pay, the manufacturer and everything else, I'm very, very happy. So I'll leave it at that for today. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I love these figures so far. I can't wait to see the rest of them as the following few weeks unfold. So make sure you keep an eye on the channel. This is a short series that we're running just in honor of the new Game of Thrones House of Dragons series. So we're only doing it for a few weeks, and then we'll be moving on to other manufacturers and other various different genres. So look, as I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss out on a video. And until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.